Remember Heretic? Remember Hexen? It has been too long since there was a game like that. A first-person caster that is not just a part of a bigger role-playing game. Lichdom will feature some deep crafting and experimentation with first-person spellcasting based on the fabulously fancy-looking CryEngine 3. Lichdom has been in development for a while, and promises to bring a fresh take on first-person spellcasting, a genre that has only existed in the shadows for way too long. Sunset Overdrive. This Xbox One exclusive, created by Insomniac Games, aims to take next-generation seriously. An online open-world shooter with cooperative elements, the game pits the players against mutants in a comically drawn, wacky post-apocalyptic city. Not too much is known, except that the game will feature a hilariously overdrawn cel-shading art style, and won't take itself too seriously. Furious 4. Starbreeze are not the only game devs hating Nazis. Gearbox brings back the Brothers in Arms series, and takes some strong hints from Inglourious Basterds. Not much is known about this hilarious Nazi killing fest other than that it will involve a lot of slaughtered Nazis, given that there is 4 different distinct characters present in the trailer. Chances are Furious 4 will be a class-based co-op game, a bit akin to the old Brothers in Arms titles and Borderlands. Wolfenstein: The New Order. What's better than crypto space Nazis? Yes! Real space Nazis. In this game created by former Starbreeze members, the people who brought us Riddick in the first, Glorious the Darkness game, we slip back into the shoes of Blazkowicz, the Nazi fighting us Marine at the center of all Wolfenstein games. This time, the Nazis have invaded the future, and created an unstoppable robot army, and only one man can stop them. Knowing Starbreeze, this game will be more than just your standard fare shooter. There will be more emphasis on the story bits. And the retro future pulpy sci-fi setting looks very promising, and certainly like a breath of, fresh air. Dying Light. Zombies and Parker in an open-world ruined city. Created by the people that made Dead Island, Dying Light is something of an unofficial sequel to the Zombie Smasher. It's all about dealing with large hordes of zombies, traversing the ruins of civilization as fast as possible, while not getting eaten, and building shelter and weapons. We have seen a few zombie games too many this generation, and chances are, Dying Light will be one of the last. However, it could also be one of the best. It looks fantastic, featuring a huge game world, some sick Parker moves, and the hungry hordes of zombies that make Dead Rising's hordes look meek. Alien: Isolation. After the horrible debacle of Aliens, Colonial Marines, that proved utterly ruinous for the relationship between Sega and Gearbox, as well as ruinous for the Alien franchise, Sega went and tasked Creative Assembly, the people who churn out the Total War games every few years, with the creation of an army worthy of LV-426. That is, an Alien game worth its salt. As recently revealed, this one will be a bit less shooty and a bit more sneaky, with only one xenomorph present most of the time. But there will still be some shooting. Some guy, who supposedly works on the game, told Kotaku that there will be soldiers and clones to shoot through. Which hopefully means not get detected by. A man can dream. Call of Duty: Black Ops 3. There will be a new Call of Duty next year. Our guess is another shot at the Black Ops universe, making this Call of Duty: Black Ops 3. Chances are, lead development will be with Treyarch again this time, while all the rest of the bigger Activision studios pitch in to deliver the Call of Duty quality, especially in multiplayer, that we have all come to love, because it is that quality that shifts more units of the yearly Call of Duty iteration than there are people on the planet. We are betting that there will be dogs, fish, and extended parts of the game taking place in space. There will also be a part set in revolutionary America because the plot involves time travel, while the multiplayer will feature a secret dinosaur hunting mode that will rein in a dinosaur shooter craze that will last for another 5 or 6 years. We are all looking forward to that. Destiny. Just as Titanfall, Destiny will not include a proper offline single-player mode, although it's playable solo. Created by the folks who brought us a decade of Halo, Destiny is a vast, Borderlands-style, class-based RPG-infused shooter with a lot of backstory, some truly stunning artwork and all the other perks you can expect from a Bungie game. Both Activision and Bungie said that Destiny will be a decade-long project, so chances are Destiny is just the first of a number of games to be released later into the coming console cycle. Titanfall. Mechs and jetpacks and a really fast pace are what's at the first game by Respawn Entertainment, the studio that was born from the ashes of Infinity Ward, creators of Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Side note, yes, Infinity Ward still exists in name, the core team has gone away to create Respawn, though taking hints from Modern Warfare, where nobody but a few backwards nerds cared for the story missions. Titanfall will not feature a single-player campaign, and instead deliver only multiplayer modes. The future of video games is just around the corner. There will be another Call of Duty next year. We all know there will be another Halo, probably this time exclusive on Xbox One. The developers of Halo 4 had announced that Halo 4 was supposed to be the first part of a new trilogy of Halo games, and the next part of said trilogy is overdue. Chances are it will arrive next year. 343 Industries is a big studio, and Microsoft needs another hit for the Xbox One platform. So prepare to finish the fight a bit more once again. Halo 5 leaked info. Tech, 60 FPS has been confirmed at E3. Now the team around Karine is basically taking the Halo 4 engine, dumps it on Xbox One dev kits, and measures the performance and goes from there. The Xbox One hardware is really powerful, though as many have stated not as powerful as Sony's machine. Nevertheless, the team does have the goal to create one of the best-looking titles next year. People are seriously overstating the power difference and underestimate the potential of the ESRAM. Yes, it was included for bandwidth reasons, but the low latency does increase efficiency in real-world performance if the ESRAM is used in smart way. I basically got the same code, with some optimization, with the ESRAM running only 20% worse on Xbox One than on a PS4 dev kit from January. Now what tech and graphical features will be implemented? Deferred shading will finally be implemented. Halo 4 was really sparse on terms of dynamic lights, a drawback of having to use a traditional forward renderer. G-buffer will consist of 4 MRTs. The entire pipeline is HDR and linear space. Those render targets will probably be stored in the ESRAM or split between the two pools, depending on performance. Some form of SSAO will also be implemented. Halo 4 only had static and baked AO, which looked great in pictures. PRTs will be used. Current tests with the ESRAM and the results are amazing. Thanks to 5 GB of RAM, soon 6 GB, the textures will look amazing and the models will have plenty detail. There are a few drawbacks with aiming for 60 FPS. First, the game will not render in native 1080p. Current resultant on display plane 2 is 1920x720, 3 megapixel compared to 2 for 1080p. Display plane 1 HUD and weapon will be native 1080p. You literally can't tell the difference. Cloud, dedicated server. First title to showcase true power of cloud processing. Massive battles with hundreds of AI calculated by the cloud, massive worlds with dynamic weather and global lighting, all done in cloud. And yes, this will need an always online connection. You don't need a powerful connection. Those data packets are really small. Game campaign is planned to be 3 to 5 times longer than Halo 4. No more linear, going open world. Master Chief has gone rogue, has own ship and can visit different planets, 6 to 8 planned. Each planet has several regions with main objectives and several side missions. Think of Wings of Liberty or Dawn of War 2. Campaign core gameplay is still Halo 2 weapons, grenades, melee, 30 seconds of fun, several different enemies, but there are RPG elements added to it, character progression, mostly items like Forerunner relics you will find that make Master Chief stronger or will give him more abilities, not really loot, but you will have to acquire weapons first, before you can use them in more missions. Weapons are stored in the armory on the ship and Chief can choose his loadout, which he will use on the mission start. He can still pick up and use the weapons he finds in the different missions. Loadout weapons are basically the same you have in Halo 4 multiplayer. You can't start with a rocket launcher, but you can call in those super weapons on a mission like in Infinity multiplayer. Difference is this is a limited ability. At low level you can call one time. This can be upgraded over time. There will be more weapons in campaign than in Halo 4, and yes, more alien weapons, not just human weapons with a different code enemies. Elite's the same faction you fought in Halo 4, grunts, jackals, hunter, brutes, drones. Promethean heavily redesigned, more types like Promethean warlords. Humans, yep, you will get humans, but not UNSC. Those are insurrectionist vehicles, biggest number of vehicles ever. Warthog Classic, Rocket, Gauss, Scorpion, and yes, their Grizzly will be in Mammoth, upgraded Mantis, more Halo Wars vehicles like Rhino, Wolverine, Cobra, Hornets, Falcons, Vultures. Chief's ship can store a limited amount of vehicles call-in similar to weapons. Forerunner War Sphinx are very powerful enemy vehicles, and yep, you will fight them. To put the gameplay in campaign into perspective, the team was running an encounter test in the Halo 4 engine with prototype models. This encounter featured several hundreds of brutes with 2 scarabs, 10 wraiths and several ghosts and banshees fighting against 1 Forerunner War Sphinx and some Prometheans. Now the player could engage in the battle, or just simply watch them fight. Power of the cloud. In short distance to Chief is process on the box, rest in the cloud and pick off the remaining forces. Well, the current player chose to engage, took his Hornet and landed it on one of the scarabs. The eye is amazing. The brutes had now to choose who to fight. Most forces fought against the Prometheans, a few took on the fight with Chief. It really looks and feels like every single eye makes smart and meaningful decisions. The player killed of the crew on the scarab, and well, this time he don't insta-destroy the core. He gets behind the wheel of the scarab, all hell breaks loose. Brute forces more and more engage the rogue scarab, while the Prometheans don't really difference their enemies. And yet the scarabs is destroyed within seconds. Thought the player survived thanks to God mode. Those are the kinds of encounter you will find in the final game. Multiplayer, split between 2 categories. Halo Arena is basically Halo 2 reloaded. No loadouts, no armor abilities and perks. Player count 8 to 16. Game types are Slayer, CTF, yes, Classic Halo CTF, King of the Hill, Assault, Oddball. Static weapon spawns, more weapons on map, which means more ammo. Weapons won't respawn as quick as in Halo 4. The second's multiplayer category is titles Halo Battlefield, not final name obviously. Those are basically really big teams battles like 32 to 64. Gameplay is more in line with Invasion from Halo Reach. Custom loadouts, armor abilities more like class abilities, vehicles, Infinity like call-ins. That's it for the moment. Just a small glimpse into what you will eventually play in November 2014.